So Medicare for All is having a huge impact, and it is embedded in the political narrative over the next 18 months, but probably for much longer than that. Why? Because Medicare for All is really asking for better value, better access, more simplicity, less chaos. That's the voice, that's the call, and it's having an impact. When Medicare for All in April was talked about on television and Bernie Sanders got out front with it, for about 4 days, $150 billion in the healthcare index of 500 companies fell in the stock market. So it has an impact, and to me that basically said Medicare for All, we need to pay attention to it. We don't have enough time to sort of go into it in detail, but first, Medicare, what does that really mean to a voter, to an individual? Medicare is a great program, and both of us have worked hard to make it better, and it's gotten better since then. But still, it only pays for about 60% of the overall health care cost for seniors, only 60%. There's no vision, there's no hearing, there's no long-term care. So we don't want to say everything else has to disappear and has to be just Medicare. So what do you mean by Medicare? And number two, what does for all mean? If for all means 350 million people, for all, it is a $30 trillion program, when all of Obamacare or all of Affordable Care Act was sort of about $1 trillion. So it's 30 times more expensive. And so then the Medicare for All, when you start dissecting it, starts losing some support. But if you take Medicare for All, Kaiser Family Foundation, the polling data, about 62% of people say go for it. Probably mainly Democrats, not Republicans, but still 62%, so that's a lot of people. When you start explaining, that means that if you have private insurance, you have to give it up. It falls down to about 45%. That's 160 million people have to give up what they have today for this Medicare for All. And then if you basically say your taxes are gonna have to triple, remember it's $1 trillion versus $30 trillion over 10 years, then all of a sudden it goes down to about 30%. So whenever the discussion comes, say, what do you mean by Medicare? What do you mean for all? So Joe Biden says Medicare for all is an option to buy in after the age of 55. That is really supported by the American people, not really Medicare for all.